365 days a year, giving out free picks. Of course, our best bets always located in our premium area. We got tons of cappers there giving out some pretty awesome picks. We have a new capper there as well. We'll talk about her later on as well, and I don't think she's not going to be on this show, but we'll have her on future shows. So I'm excited to have our first woman handicapper. She's not just a woman that sits there, in front of the camera and says, and says, it's things that are not related to sports betting and kind of, like some of the other guys think you guys want to see. But we're just here to put you on winners. And whether that comes from a man, a woman, child, whatever, we don't care. It all pays the same. Anyways, we're going to bring in, speaking about men, women, and child, we're going to bring in Brian Bittler and the Puck Dogs. Guys, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, was there ever a 2-game card that felt like a full card more than last night after the slow week? Having 2 games, it felt like it was like we got a full. It's like there was 2 games. It's like, man, it felt like.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking the exact same thing. I'd even add to it. Have you ever seen 2 games? It almost seems too easy to you. As far as Giants and App State.
The thing is, I had been cold on Sunday, Monday. My NFL on Sunday was terrible. It was my worst weekend, my worst Sunday of the year. Then Monday, I lost the games. And then Tuesday, I lost the game 1 of the World Series. So, I'd bounced back on Wednesday, and I needed the 2 winners. And it looked, like Brian said, it was so easy, right? I mean, so easy. And it was like, sometimes when they're so easy like that, you're kind of like, it's like, how is App State not favored by 24 points in this game? It's like. Yeah.
And I've seen the Eagles play all year, and I know how they play.
I mean, we've been betting against the Eagles since day one. I had Washington in week 1 against the Eagles. Plus, we hit them at halftime again. I got crushed on those halftime comments. Remember that week 1? I had Washington. They were losing at halftime. I'm like, oh man, we're gonna unload on Washington here. And the Eagles.
But that was a nice pass that they hit Boston Scott on.
Oh no. Carson Wentz, he's a professional quarterback that makes $100 million. I mean, he's going to complete some nice passes. The problem is the 28 passes in between, right? The 28 plays in between. It's not the beauty. Remember the pass that he hit Clement on in the Super Bowl? I mean, does anyone remember that? It kind of got mixed up in the whole mix-up of the game and all these great scoring plays. That was one of the best throws and catches you'll ever see, ever. And it kind of just got lost in the mix, once again to a running back.
I think a lot comes down to the offensive line, but that's just me.
I think it comes down to a quarterback that holds on to the ball forever, which you cannot do.
Maybe the receivers aren't I know you need to get rid of the ball, but those receivers are pretty bad. That they got.
How about the cheap shot on Deshaun Jackson?
That was bad.
Yeah,
that was really dirty.
And he got it, and he was injured on that play, and he's probably career ender, right?
That's good. He needs to retire.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the severity of the injury was, but it certainly didn't look good.
He hit him right in the head. I wasn't sure he went into.
It was his leg. It was his leg.
His leg too, yeah.
It was his leg. The concussions they recover from, it's the leg, that it looked like a tear. But I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just play one in AOL chat rooms.
It was still dirty.
I don't know why he'd be back there in that situation. I mean, he's an older guy. Why wouldn't you just put a different non-brittle guy back there? I mean,
he's had some success against the Giants returning punts before. That's for sure.
Yep,
certainly has.
Looks like a high ankle sprain. They're expecting him to miss multiple weeks.
The high ankle sprain's the worst.
Yeah.
Nothing worse
than
a high
an MRI today.
Speaking of worst,
how much he's played over the last 3 weeks. He's probably played like 30% of snaps in 3 years.
Speaking of worst, what do you got for sale today, Brian?
Oh man, after a 2-0 Thursday, I got one play tonight. It's going to be an easy winner. President's Choice. Pick it up. Pickdogs.com. Also got my Saturday card loaded. So get that 3-day pass. Get all my plays, and I'm going to have a big weekend. Love it. Love it tonight. One play, one big winner.
Chris, what do you got?
For me, it's my free-for-all Friday 3-pack. So I got 2 plays in college football and 1 play for the World Series tonight. I got it over at $29.95 over the website. And I'm also going to have my college football loaded later today.
Rod, what do you got?
It's my favorite day of the week. It's Steak Friday. Off a nice 3-0 last Steak Friday. I got 3 plays loaded in there for today. 2 college football, 1 MLB. I love Friday.
I got 2 college football and 1 MLB as well. I think I call it Mitch's 3-pack. 2 + 1, something like that. Don't get too into the fancy names. I do like to sometimes, like of the individual picks, I used to get into the whole name thing. The steamroller, flatten the book. Now after hearing Brian talk for a couple months, I just called Mitch's picks. Anyways, you're so mean to Brian.
Speaking of game names, I got 2 game of the months tomorrow on Saturday, so huge.
How's that
day.
possible?
Well, I have my American Athletic Conference game of the month and my overall college football game of the month, which is probably second biggest next to my Clemson game of the year win. So it's all up here.
That's a lot of information for a Friday morning. Yeah, I woke up this morning, my wife elbowed me in the face. Anyone ever have that happen?
Yep, I've had the foot in the face, and I have had the elbow in the face.
Yeah. Got the
Nothing like
elbow
dead sleep.
square across the face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just no remorse, 0 remorse.
Did you at least get like a half a sleep? I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's 0 remorse, 0 remorse. Huh?
You get the grumble. I usually get the grumble where it's like,
I at least got the I'm sorry kind of mumbled in her sleep, and
We got the dog is on a diet. He's all grumpy too, man. He's like, he's just been so mad. I've had him like on a diet for like a month. He's like, the vet said he was overweight. He is spoiled. So he exercises a ton, but I could see he was a little chunky. We're all trying to slim it down here. It's like we're all doing it. So, anyways, we got baseball and football tonight. Brian is taking care of business. I think he
every day.
But school bell rings.
School bell rings, disappears. But yeah, we got a lot of games for tomorrow. Chris, how many plays are you planning on putting out tomorrow? You always put out the most, so. You always go about 6 games too far for my taste, but what do you got? That's half dozen over what's a reasonable amount.
Yeah, fair enough. You know me. I'm terrible with self-editing. I don't know. I'm looking at 5 for the early slate, 5 for the 3:30 to 7, and 5 for the late.
So 15 games. A baker's dozen plus 2. Does that include the baseball or no?
No.
How about the UFC card? Anything there? Soccer?
I might put on a couple UFC plays.
All right. See if we can get you into that 3 touchdown range. Rod, how many picks are you looking at maybe for tomorrow?
For me, I've got 9, and I'm going to dwindle it down a little bit from there.
I haven't.
I can't do the 9 or 15 anymore. You have one bad day and it kills you.
Yeah, I try and do 3 early, 3 middle, 3 late. If that's how it works, that's how it works. I try and do that. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it bleeds into the early will bleed into the afternoon. The afternoons will bleed into the early evening. It's just the way that's however the schedule is. And to be honest, I haven't put my picks in, so I don't even know. I have my lists. I got right. I take notes. I take notes all week. And all the games.
You got your list.
Brian,
narrow down your list.
We'll see what he has to say.
So problem is, for me, it could have even been more than that. I love tomorrow's card, but I had to be.
I really like. I like tomorrow's card too, and that's what almost scares me so much. Is how much that I do like it.
Yeah.
It just seems that there's a lot of sucker bets out there. Like a lot of sucker bets, like an inordinate amount of sucker bets tomorrow.
Sucker bets.
Yeah, there's a lot of them tomorrow. So it's like, very, very easy to just be, it's a great day for the contrarian, I believe, tomorrow. And it's kind of like I'll be on a lot of money line dogs for sure. Big money line dogs. Brian, how many plays are you looking at for tomorrow? We're just killing time.
It's going to be as per usual, the 5, but in those 5, I got 3 monster bets. So
monster bets.
And I'm going to do the 5-pack as soon as I get off here and get that up. But
well, speaking of the World Series, got Game 3 tonight. We got Charlie Morton and Walker Buehler. Buehler has gone deep rarely into games. Charlie Morton, about the same. Both these guys, though, in their time when they're on the field, they super competitors, right? It's competitors, super competitors. Dodgers, doesn't matter. They're going to be favored in every single game, regardless, right? So I think at this price is still some of the lower prices that we've seen on the Dodgers all season long. The Dodgers were in the minus 200 plus range all season. Walker Buehler, 2.91 ERA. Charlie Morton, 3.52. So not a lot of wiggle room here between either of these guys. Brian, what are you looking at tonight?
I've been awful on my totals for this World Series, but I've been rock solid with my.
We just want to know about that. We want to know about this.
As far as tonight, well, that's leading into the play. I'm going to be on the Rays tonight, so I'm going to go for a 3-0 there. But I just think there's more value with the Rays. Charlie Morton's been pretty much lights out in the playoffs. I think he's carrying a 0.90 ERA. He's only been going about 5 innings per game, but I think you might see 6 from Morton tonight. I think Buehler goes 6 also. But I like the Rays here at the plus money.
Yeah, I'm willing to argue that Morton's been the best pitcher of the playoffs so far. 3-0, 0.57 ERA, and I mean Buehler has the second most strikeouts, but I think at this price, I'm going to take a shot with the Rays and the plus money as well.
Rod?
I'm going to stick to something that's not broken. Give me the over. I think Morton's going to give up some runs. Morton struggled against the Dodgers, surrendering 11 runs, 8 earned, and 11 career innings versus the Dodgers. I don't think Morton's going to have a good start here. Give me the over. I think we're going to see some runs.
It's weird because with Buehler, we've seen him with May, right? It's been the combination. But May just pitched. I mean, he got rocked. He got crushed. And I don't think we're going to be seeing him. I don't think we're going to see him come in here. The Dodgers seemed, last game, oddly enough, seemed to have few answers, few answers. And just absolutely dazzled by the Rays pitching all the way around. And, as opposed to game 1 where they got walked all day long, and all those guys scored, and then with the runners on base, they saw something with Glasnow's motion that they knew they could go on them, and then, you saw the opposite against Snell where nobody could move anywhere, and, the strike zone will certainly have a big play in it, but I gave out the under as my free picks the first 2 games. Both those lost. I'm going to go with the over this time. It'll probably go under. I'm just way off on these totals. For baseball, this was my worst baseball season I could even remember from start to finish. I got the winner last game. I'm happy with that. I can live with it. I just think that once you get past Kershaw, the Dodgers don't have much on the mound. They just don't, and I think that's will ultimately be their undoing for this series. I picked the Rays to win the World Series this year, and I'm sticking with that all the way. Going to ride it all, to come hell or high water. I'm, 3 wins away from, something that I got hammered on that pick.
That's what I'm doing with the under. I'm going to ride it into the ground. I'm going to take under every single game, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, where do you?
Because I refuse to go over. 3 games in a row. As soon as I take the over, it'll be 1-0.
Where do you go here though? With because Buehler's a 4 inning guy, right? So where do you go after him? Where are you going to go?
Now, he's still a stud. I don't see why he can't go 6 innings.
But he can't go 6 innings. He can't go 6 innings because he throws a lot of pitches around the plate, and the guys can foul him off, and he gets into high pitch counts early. He gets into like super, he gets into 20, 25 pitch innings fast. 2 of them. He'll have like 2 of them. He'll be 50 pitches in. It'll be midway through the 2nd inning.
It's like Vince Velasquez. He does that kind of stuff.
Well, minus the tape measure home runs. Right? I mean, Buehler still manages to manage the game. He just doesn't last. Yeah, and where do you go? Is it Urias? Who's scheduled for next game?
I think it's Urias for game 4.
Yeah, so it's like he's not going to be an option for this one. Yeah, he is scheduled for game 4. So he's not an option here. What are you going to do? Wheel out these same guys that got smacked around last game?
And say is it maybe Caleb Ferguson. Try to get a couple innings out of him, even though he was beat around a little bit as well.
Yeah. I mean, this Rays lineup is no joke, man. This for a World Series that no one's going to watch. This really is some of the 2 best teams. What we haven't seen yet is a competitive game, and we didn't really see it in most of the playoffs. There weren't that many games that were just like nail biters, that went down to like every pitch and extra innings, and I don't think we saw there were few and far.
Way early with the Braves and the Reds, that early one that went to extra, where they go a few extra innings there. That was a nail biter. That was a good game. It's like the Rays lost or the Reds lost.
I lost that one. God damn it. I don't remember.
Well, I was
texting with Rod. I'm like, well, you're finished. I got 1st and 3rd with nobody out or 1 out or whatever it was.
I think that was the most competitive game that I've seen. That was a good game.
Chris, are you capable of having an AAC game of the month? Is that something that's in your wheelhouse, in your like something that you could possibly pull off? I know I can't do it.
I like it.
I don't have it in me.
There's a lot of good teams in the AAC.
I know, but I just don't have a game of the month in me, in the AAC. I just don't have it. I mean, I could try.
East Carolina USF was probably my game of the month.
Houston Navy.
Yeah.
Cincinnati SMU.
That's actually, I think it's going to be a good game.
I think Cincinnati's missing a bunch of guys, right? Because COVID thing. That's why the line went all the way through, right? Is because like half their team. I don't know if they're actually missing. I think it's kind of like they weren't sure if they were going to play type thing. See, that's a stay away game because you don't know who's going to play. It's like if you don't know who the players are going to be and the line moves 5 points, it's like that line could have moved for no reason whatsoever. It happens all the time.
Well, usually the books have better information than we do. I mean, they know.
Not always.
Yeah, not always.
Not always. I would say not always. I'd say.
I mean, my pick's not on that game, but I like SMU. I think.
Of course you do, because the line moved all that way.
I think Cincinnati, if they were.
I could go through
Cincinnati.
I could go through the whole card and tell you all of your picks.
Nah, I got a few surprises in there.
I could go through the whole card and tell you everything.
I got surprises in there. Yeah.
You don't do the surprise very well.
The weird thing is, I could tell all Brian's picks, and I'm gonna guess that we probably agree on more picks this weekend than we ever have.
We were just talking about Cincinnati SMU, and you probably thought I had SMU, but I don't have SMU. I like SMU. I was a game I had circled, but I think they're still underrated.
Well, speaking about a different U, we got FIU up against Jacksonville State. And Panthers 10.5-point favorites in this one. They have not looked very good this year, FIU. I always think that this is a better team than they get credit for. The location of the school is fantastic for recruiting high school talent. I mean, they are in the hottest of hotbeds of high school talent, geographically. They are located, Tamiami Stadium is located, I don't know, it can't be more than a 15-minute drive from the University of Miami. There and on that drive are probably, I would say within a half-hour drive of FIU's campus, from their South Miami campus. I'd say from the half-hour drive from their South Miami campus, you could drive to high schools that have more players in the NFL than any other school, than any other college out there. I would say that them and Miami are in the closest proximity to, to that type of talent than anyone, So Butch Davis, one of the greatest recruiters of all time, the best evaluator of talent of all time, it's just surprising that we find them at 0-2. Meanwhile, Jacksonville State, this is a team that's always good. This is an FCS team that's always good. They're always good. They always didn't they almost beat Georgia last year, right? This team's good. Brian, what are you thinking here?
This isn't a game I'm rushing to the window to bet, but I think Jacksonville State, it means more to them than FIU. And if I had to pick the game, if you can get 10.5, which I still see 10.5, I'd go 50 on Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I'll take a shot on Jacksonville State as well. They looked pretty decent against Florida State before letting the Seminoles, sort of wake up. I'll go with Jacksonville State. I'll even maybe just put a couple bucks on Jacksonville State money line in case they pull off the upset.
How about you, Rod?
Yeah, I'll take Jacksonville State plus the 10.5 here as well. I think that's way too many points. I think FIU wins, but not by 10, not by that many points. I think it's a 3-point game at best.
I'm going to take FIU and lay the points. I'm not betting this thing.
Oh, we want to need a consensus. You're killing us.
I don't like the weather here, man, for visiting teams at this time of year in Florida. I just think that I used to live there, right? So I know it's miserable, man. It's misery. And you get into those second halves, and these teams, they just wilt, They just wilt in the second half. It is. There's nothing fun about wearing all that equipment with, 90% humidity at night. It's like there's nothing fun about it. And FIU doesn't have any wins, but they lost to Liberty by 2 points. That's pretty damn good.
Chance of rain.
There's always a chance of rain in Miami. It's always a chance of rain. It rains for 10 minutes. It rains for 10 minutes every day.
Yeah. Well, probably chances it's going to be raining.
See, it's like when you look at the geography, right, of the state of Florida. When you're up in that Tallahassee area and in the top part of the state, you have one climate. Then you go all the way down to West Palm Beach, and you have what's called subtropical environment, right? And that's barely above tropical. And so, like, they call it the coconut belt. And then once you go through West Palm Beach, that's when it's just suffocating humidity, all the way down. It's that's tropical. It's, basically, throw any seeds into the grass out the window, it's going to grow, Jack's beanstalk. And let's just say in high school, I threw a few seeds out the window. Anyways, and some stuff grew. Yeah. I'll swear to this day, officer, I have no idea how that got there. Got South Florida up against Tulsa.
That's why Florida has so many boa constrictors now.
Oh yeah, no, it's
like,
no. So people release their boa constrictors into the Everglades, and it's just a natural environment for them to just take over. But what originally happened was in the Hurricane Andrew, the Miami Metro Zoo, which was an open zoo like the San Diego Zoo, it just got blown apart. The hurricane went right through there. So like all those wild birds and baboons and all kinds of stuff like that all were released into the wild. And because of the environment, they're able to not just live, but to thrive.
Thrive. Oh yeah.
So the whole ecosystem is all messed up. Which will lead to the demise of the planet. All right, good show. See you guys later.
I'm falling asleep over there.
Well, it's nothing new. How about
That's what I do in science class. I fall asleep.
South Florida and Tulsa, Brian? What do you think?
South Florida and Tulsa. You know I love the dogs, but in this one I got to go with the public side, Tulsa. I mean, they've had an extra week thanks to COVID. South Florida is just horrible. They gave it everything they had against Temple last week, but came up just short. If I have to bet the game, I'll lay the points with Tulsa here.
Yeah, I'm going to lay the points with Tulsa as well. I know Temple USF hung around with Temple last time out, but it's still a bad football team, and Tulsa plays some solid defense. So I'm going to lay the points with Tulsa on the road.
Right.
I'll take a shot with South Florida. I think that's too many points. Give me South Florida plus the 11.5. And what I see is like a 10-point game.
I took South Florida in the video. I'm gonna stick with it. I don't know, man. I just 10.5 on the road is just always a lot. Tulsa gets a lot of good calls at home. I don't know if they get them here.
Friday's usually a square night, though, as far as the public usually does well on Fridays.
Here's the type of comments that I just never quite understand what they are. Just says Kershaw. The hell is that?
Kershaw.
Maybe they're saying Kershaw starts game 4. Or sorry, game 5. Game 5, sorry.
Oh. Did we talk about game 5?
Well, you're saying it's Urias in game 4.
He's saying maybe Kershaw starts game 4 because they yoinked him early in game 1.
Maybe you'll see Gonsolin or whatever his name is come into the day after Bueller.
I don't think so.
He only had 1 inning, though.
Yeah, that's all you give him. The Dodgers aren't dumb. Come on now.
Anyone?
He doesn't have bad numbers, though, for
He'll be lucky
really.
to see Gonsolin the rest of the series. They're not putting that guy out there.
There it is.
You never know.
If someone in the comments is taking the Dodgers, it's an auto fade. I'm 100% with you guys. I 100% agree. I endorse that statement. This statement was approved by Mitch. These are just, I don't even understand these questions.
Who's our friend Al on the night as far as the Dodgers and Rays go? The Rays?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, to find out the drive-through tonight. No, today's Friday. He's not on.
No? You on tonight?
Yes, I'll be on the drive-through giving out my North Carolina NC State pick. I love it, but it's not a premium, so we'll see.
Yep. So, Nick, I went to Sunset High School for 1 year. I was thrown out. So I'm from that exact area that you're talking about. I was rezoned. I would have been at Killian, just like I went to Arvida High School and then our junior high, and I was zoned out to McMillan Junior High, and I was suspended from both of those schools before I was thrown out of Sunset School. Not easy to do either, to get thrown out of the Florida public school system. I swear to God, I have no idea what you're talking about. I still don't know. Still don't know why I was thrown out. That's the problem.
You're a bad seed.
Because I was thrown out of school because I never went. It's like, if you're not going to come, you're not allowed to come here. I'm sorry. I like going to the beach on a Tuesday when it's not crowded. We got, I'm not going to apologize for it either. Well, I guess I just did. Wisconsin against Illinois. Big public backing here on the Illini. Lovey got the team rallied up last year after the Wisconsin 1 point win over Wisconsin at Champaign. I've been to Camp Randall before. I went with Wade from Doc Sports, of all people.
There you go.
He's got great seats, man. Great seats. Family's had those seats probably forever, right on the 50-yard line, probably like 15th row. He's got like 8 or 10 of them. Awesome seats on the Badger side.
Pretty awesome. Oh, in this game, it seems like they're begging you to take Illinois, and I'm really surprised that the big bettors are taking Illinois in this game. I mean, as we look, the line just keeps getting higher and higher. I think Wisconsin really lays a beat down in Illinois today. I'm not falling for that trap. I'll lay the points with Wisconsin. I think it's a statement game. They want to come out and say they're the best team in the Big Ten. So lay the points with Wisconsin.
Yeah, I was on Illinois earlier in the week, and then the more I looked at it, I'm going to go with Wisconsin at home here. I think they normally beat up on teams in the season opener. I think this is no different. I think they take it to Illinois here, so I'm going to lay the points with Wisconsin.
Rod?
And for me, I'm gonna take the under 51.5. I think their first game off the year going to be a little bit slow. Going to take a little bit of time before these two teams get rolling. And both these teams like to run the ball and burn clock. So I'm gonna take the under 51.5.
I'm going to go with the under, too. I think it's going to be a possession-type game. But
I can see an under.
It definitely, something smells funny there. What channel is that game on? Anyone know?
Hopefully it's on the Big Ten channel. I'll have to look.
Big Ten Network, Fox, 219 channel. So I rarely endorse other sites, but if you've never checked it out, Matt Sars Sports, mattsars.com, MATTSARZ.com. Here's a guy that seriously has his priorities together. This guy has it all in line. He knows exactly where he stands. He's been around online longer than me.
Yeah,
Holy
Big
crap.
Big Ten Network.
Big Ten Network, yep.
Yeah, Matt Sars is the guy, you know.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I use it.
It's the greatest thing that's. People ask me, well, what websites do you read? mattsars.com. It's like, it's my favorite. What's your favorite website? mattsars.com.
I've never been there before.
Oh my God, you haven't lived. During college basketball season, it is
Godsend.
I have my favorite websites that isn't in the rotation yet. But
yeah, because you haven't discovered it. But during college basketball, you really can't live with that. It's mattsarsports.com. Let's see what Matt's got to say. Yeah, it's got the whole lineup. Big Ten Network, got the Louisiana UAB is on CBS Sports Network. That's
That sounds like he could be a good handicapper, that Mr. Sars there. Knows his stuff.
I don't want to take him away from his craft here. I mean, he's so dialed in. He's just so good at what he does, and it's so important to the world as we live. Just really don't want to. We don't want to lose what we got here.
You'll be the reason that he goes downhill.
It's like, what the hell happened to Matt Sars? Got ULL and UAB. Now they call them Louisiana. It'll still always be ULL to me. This line has gone right through the number. 5 points swing the other way. UAB's gone from -2 to +3. 70 big numbers here on the Blazers, right? Big numbers.
Well, as far as I go, it's another super square free pick here. I kind of like the over in this one. I know UAB's got a nice defense for what they are, and Louisiana Lafayette, Raging Cajuns, their defense is wishy-washy. I think it goes over the total. I don't think we see any problem here. I'm just worried that there's so much public backing on it. But I'm going to put $50 on the over.
Now I'm looking at the. Now I'm all focused in on Matt Sars over here, and I could see that Nebraska Ohio State's gonna be on Fox, and I'm already saying, crap, Gus Johnson's gonna be calling it. You know, it's like.
I wonder why they put that on Fox. Who wants to watch that game?
Because Fox has the Big Ten contract. They probably paid $1 gazillion for it.
I'm surprised there's not a better game they could put on.
Well, they could put on the Rutgers-Michigan State game.
I'd rather see that. I think Rutgers is going to hang tight.
Yep, I like Rutgers in that one.
And Ohio State game's probably going to be a stomping.
At Indiana, the line's down to 5.5.
Uh,
What are you mumbling about, Chris?
no,
You
I'm
got
looking
a
at
problem?
This. I'm looking at this.
It's
With
hard
you?
to
Never.
control himself.
What are you looking at?
Looking at this UAB ULL game. You know what? Even with all the line movement and everything, I'm still going to stick with UAB and the points. I like the way the UAB runs the ball, and I like this Blazer defense. So
Don't worry, Chris. I'll continue to troll your live show at 6 p.m. Eastern Time with Tony T.
I welcome it. It keeps me on my toes.
I troll the comments. I admit it.
That's okay. I welcome it.
Oh.
Someone's belly's rumbling.
That's my stuff.
Like,
Somebody heard that.
We have a $2 super chat and a request for the Brian voice. Stop picking on Brian.
My stomach is.
You're talking over everyone. It's because my mic is right in my face, and these guys' mic is, I don't even know where they have it. That's why it sounds like I'm talking over them. But you gotta stop picking on Brian. Picking on Brian. Over my dead body. I'm going to the sports book for the first time this weekend. Hopefully I can bring home a winner. There you go. I'm sure Brian's just like, just play it.
I'm telling you what, 5-0 tomorrow. I smell it coming.
Well, if you're gonna talk like that, then you got it. Then you gotta you're gonna have to walk. That's a pretty big walk to walk right there.
I don't usually do parlays, but I might put $50 on my 5-gamer. I don't like parlays. I'm not a parlay guy.
I'll put $50. Wait, I don't like parlays.
Where are we here, Chris? Did you ULL us?
Yeah, I like UAB with the points.
I like the over. Give me the over. I know the world's on the over, but I think we're going to definitely, these two teams are going to score some points. Give me the over.
All right. Got anything else going on today?
What did you say you were on, Mitch?
I did 3 videos on this game, but I said over in all of them. Here's my video pick right here. I have to write them down. So,
I don't watch the videos. You got to tell me.
ULL over 49.5.
There we go. We almost have a consensus here.
There it is. ULL over 49.5. That NC State line dropping like a rock against North Carolina, too. There's been some big line movement for tomorrow's games. Big line movement.
Well, the reason that line's dropping is there's a lot of people on NC State. I mean, but as long as you see that statement above 14.
So you're saying when a lot of people bet on one side that the line moves is what you're.
Not all the time. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't.
Is this? We'll have a new segment here since we don't.
But
have
it's just
any more
moving
teams.
in the proper direction. It's nothing that raises any alarm bells.
Chris, maybe you guys could have this on the drive-through, talking shop with Brian Bittler. If a lot of bets are on one team.
Now, if I see this line drop to 13.5, that's when I start to worry. That's past the key number. Then I start to worry about my. Now I'm going to have to give Tony a new game.
Brian's more like, if you see this handicapper on this game, on this side.
Yes, I have my list of guys that I like to know what.
Brian's got his list. I got my list. We all got our list, and it's like just more comfortable there.
One of my first things I do in the morning is I call my friend Kevin Thomas, and we have a discussion, and then I go from there.
So are you with Kevin Thomas, or are you kind of against?
I gotta admit I'm against, but that's just because we're friends and we're competitive. But I'm usually the opposite.
Do you think like that certain people, it's like when you see them not on the square side, you get nervous?
Yep.
Yeah, me too. Because that usually means they're on my side, and it's like it's not where I want to be.
And sometimes the next day I saw that they were on my side. I'm thinking, what did I do wrong in this game? Why was I thinking a certain way? Or why were they thinking like me? So maybe I look into it too much.
Okay. Well, I think that pretty much wraps everything up. Do we have any parlays or anything else that we want to talk about here?
Sure. I'll give you a parlay. Big old mixed sport parlay. I'll start with soccer. I'm going to take Leeds money line. I'm going to take the ULL over 50.5. And I'm going to take the baseball game over 7.5. Parlay those up. I actually like that.
Parlay them up. Chris?
I didn't like the soccer for today, so I'm going to take a pass. I'll have some for tomorrow.
Okay. Brian, anything you want to say to our audience before we sign off, before tomorrow's big show?
I'd have to say the best free pick that I gave out is Wisconsin. So I really recommend a nice, healthy wager on the Badgers tonight. I think they take care of business.
Well, why wouldn't it have been a premium pick if you liked it so much?
Well, because I don't want to have two plays. It's either one play or three plays. I don't like. Last night I had two because I was absolutely forced to do it, but I like to be on an odd number. Call it superstition or whatever. That's just I like to be one.
We'll call it some other things, and people will complain about it. They'll say that I'm trying to push you around.
I like Wisconsin.
This isn't Brian's first rodeo, so he knows what it's like elsewhere. People think like I give him this bad shake and I'm this horrible boss or something, or like horrible. It's like, I don't know, man. I always think I'm tough but fair. And I always think that the fair side is more important.
It wouldn't be any fun if I agreed with everything you said and we agreed on every single play, so it wouldn't be fun.
Brian's breaking news segment. I think for the drive-through, though, there should be more betting strategy talk. The show is so long to begin with.
That's the problem. It's not fast enough, I don't think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fast-paced, and it's super long.
I'm not blaming any. It's nobody's fault.
I'm not blaming anyone either. I'm just saying the show is supposed to be like this fast-paced thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, I was set to go on yesterday. My time was 6:40, and I went on at 7-something. It's not even close. It's Ruffalo with his filibuster.
I mean, don't the drive-thrus have like a timer clock going where some of the drive-thrus around here, they have a
Ruffalo thinks he's getting paid by the minute. That's the problem. I worked overtime. Gonna need more money. Oh, we got this idiot. I don't know why, like, some people, like, they have to, it's like, I never really understand the psyche of the internet troll, It's like, it's something I just don't understand. Like, where's the payoff? What's the payoff there? You guys know what it is?
You can get a reaction.
Get a reaction. I don't know. It's like, wouldn't you get a better reaction?
Some people just the internet troll just likes to start a fight just for starting a fight, right? So
yeah, just
figure that troll is just that troll just wants to fight. He just wants to have an argument for the sake of having an argument. That's Brian sticks his head up and he's like, yeah.
No, I got a message on one of my friends of what they're on. It made me smile because I really like the other side. So now I'm happy. Anyway, be quiet.
Anyways, it's been fun. Tomorrow our show starts at 10 a.m. Eastern time for Saturdays because we got a loaded card tomorrow. So it's going to be a long show. So pack a lunch. I'm also going to probably going to be doing another show tomorrow at a different time. Maybe a couple of them. because the big card and because I just want to run up against some of the other shows out there. I might not have anything to say, but I might just sit here and, drink coffee, eat some oatmeal or something. Watch some football with you guys.
Have popcorn.
Maybe we'll do it from my living room, like with the webcam, and we'll call it Mitch's living room.
Yeah, the game's on TV. You're not showing the games, but you're talking about.
Yeah, we can talk about like the
crappy
different games.
or something.
Bobby Gordon's wife graduated from Killian. I got a lot of friends that went to Killian. A lot of friends from Killian High School. That is a football factory. They zoned it. Miami always says they always change the zoning. It's like our team stinks. We're gonna have to change the zoning. It's like it'll like go and then it'll be like some odd thing. It's like eventually they
Do they fight over a player going, that player was
Oh,
in our
absolutely.
zone? No.
And then what they do is after the season they will cry foul and take away the title. Is what they do. So there was Clay. Everyone knows Clay Thompson, right? On the Warriors,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So his father was also an NBA player, right? Michael Thompson. So he's from our district, right? So they rezoned him, and then they rezoned to get him in to Jackson High School. And then there was like a couple other guys that it was kind of this jagged thing. Like a guy that ended up on the Globetrotters and some other pro guys, right? They had this weird zone and they called them the Jackson 5 and they were like this dominant team in Miami. And like, stripped they stripped of the title and all their wins and everything. It was like, somebody paid off like the zoning people to like, it was like it's like a square with a one line that goes out like this, to encompass,
You got to get that guy in there.
Michael Thompson's house.
Yeah.
South Ridge is always terrible. The Eagles, they were kind of like South Ridge and Sunset were kind of like rivals because they both stunk. They were both the lousy teams. Like Sunset always had one or two guys like on every team that like was an NFL player, and but all the other high schools in Miami have like 10, but they always had like one or two that was like a pro player. South Ridge. Oh, I'm South Ridge like might not have any, but like and Coral Park. That's like where Jose Canseco and A-Rod went. It's Coral Park. So like Coral Park, Southridge, and Sunset were always the lousy ones. Sunset got relegated to a lower division. That's how bad they are, But they've had a lot of good pro players. Boynton Beach all the way, Lamar Jackson. Yep. Teddy Bridgewater's from one of those schools too. I think he's from Pompano, right? One of those. I know Patrick Peterson is from there. And Mari Cooper. It goes on and on and on and on. Anyways, everyone, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. My favorite day of the week during my favorite time of the year. Birthday edition.
On your birthday. Yeah.
Birthday edition. How much better does it get than that? Of course, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow. We're starting at 10 a.m. Have a great day.